Hey friends, welcome to the Johnson City Living Podcast, where we learn about the people, places, events, and flavors that make Johnson City a lovely place to live. I'm your host, Colin Johnson with the Colin and Carly Group, and it is a beautiful February day here in Johnson City, and I am so excited for you guys to get to meet Miss Azlinn Hope Edwards, and she owns a business here called Azlinn Hope, which is a boutique. It's a fashion site that you can come to in Johnson City, and it's just awesome, and she's been doing it a while. So I am excited for you guys to get to know her and learn more about her story. And so thank you so much, Azlinn, for coming on the podcast.
Yes, it's an honor to be here. I'm excited.
Yeah, okay. So it's Johnson City Living. I always ask on the front end, what do you love most about living in Johnson City?
I love Johnson City because it's just a big enough city to where we can bring things like fashion and people can have a place to come and enjoy it, especially in a big downtown, you know? So I love the community that is here in downtown Johnson City, the fashion that I can bring from all over the world to Johnson City, and just the true community that we've built here is amazing.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I think it's cool that you chose downtown for your spot. And
Yeah.
so you've been here a little bit more before it was popular.
Yeah.
You were here.
Yeah, it was
How did you
pre-COVID.
choose? Yeah, it was pre-COVID. It was like downtown was happening, and you kind of said, "All right, I'm going to go downtown." How did you choose downtown?
Yeah, I think sometimes you have to go somewhere before it becomes something. And I feel like there is such a sense of community, like I said, around downtown. And you can tell that it's growing. There's new restaurants opening every day, new retail businesses. I also love and respect Tina Wilson, who owns Reclaimed.
She's so sweet. We love
She's
her.
an
Yep.
amazing businesswoman. She actually just invited me to be in a new entrepreneurs group with her.
Oh, cool.
So just
Do
a
it.
lot of things that I feel like bring the community of downtown, people like Johnson City Living Podcast, people who want to see downtown succeed and are pushing towards, creating that group with like sip and strolls and community downtown events and things like that. They benefit us.
Yeah.
And those are things that are free to us, especially as a small business owner. You can't pay for those things. So
Yeah.
it's really been cool to see the support, and just being a young female business owner, it's difficult, but having the community behind you, it's almost like you have another employee that's helping you, So
Yeah.
it's been really cool.
Have you connected with the JCDA and those guys over there?
I don't think I have yet. That's
Okay.
that'll be
my
next
buddy-
on my list.
Yeah, there's some good friends of mine over there, so you need to hook up with them. Okay, so let's go back. Where'd you grow up?
So I'm from Jefferson County. I grew up in Morristown for the first little bit of my life. Then we moved to Jefferson County, so all my memories are there. I went to Jefferson County High School.
Nice.
And then I actually moved to the Johnson City area and went to Milligan for a year and played golf.
Oh, cool.
So I played golf, and then I got burnt out because I love it, but when you're playing for a school sport, it's difficult.
intense, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of work. But I loved the community that I had there too. And then I started loving fashion. I actually went to school to be a speech pathologist.
Oh.
And then my first year I was like, I love it, but there's something's calling me into something else. And I felt like God was directing me in a different path. So golf and speech pathology, I thought that was my whole career.
Right.
And I worked so hard towards that. And then one day I woke up and God was like, you're going to do fashion and you're going to have a store. And I just felt like my eyes were wide open to what like my identity is. And so I went and transferred and ended up at Tennessee and studied retail and consumer science.
Yep.
Fell in love with it. I got this amazing opportunity as an intern to move to New York City, fully paid, like stuff that's unheard of.
That's great.
And it just opened so many doors. And I just felt like with every step I was taking, it was what I was meant to do, was fashion. So
That's cool.
yeah. that's
How'd you
kind of
like
the
your tea?
background. I loved it. Go Vols, finally.
Yes. I graduated from UT, and we've got a 20-year-old down there. Hopefully he's listening and studying right now. So
Yes.
I'm sure he's going to do great down there. No, he's doing great.
Yep.
He's in business school there, and he's loving it. And
Yeah.
so we've got an amazing university just down the road.
Yeah.
And then so that's cool.
Yeah.
You still play a lot of golf?
I did. I took a hiatus for 4 years,
Okay.
5 years maybe. Now I'm back to it. Me and my husband love to play. I actually ended up meeting him at UT. So
Oh, cool.
the fashion building was right next to the engineering building, and here we are, almost 5 years later. We've been married and love it, and both alumni, and loved the school, and came back to this area to like keep our roots here. He's from here, and I'm close to being from here. So now I just love the area, and
That's cool.
Yeah, we really
Okay.
enjoy it.
So tell me about New York. You went there paid, it sounds like. That sounds
Yeah.
like a great trip.
Yeah, I loved it.
How long were you there?
So I was just there for a summer internship, kind of
Okay.
apprenticeship with a company that had kind of like celebrity designers. So I was able to go in. I worked in the middle of Times Square and got to walk up to, I think it was on like the 35th floor or something, and you could see everything over New
that's
York. They
cool.
had a beautiful balcony. And there was about 10 interns, and we all worked for different celebrities within that group. And we were able to do like product design. We had people come over, like manufacturers. We were able to create the product, see it, like buy it, finish it, and then like see it through and take it to market and things like that. It was really, really awesome seeing things like trend forecasting. So that's a whole career in itself. So we had a team of trend forecasters, and then I worked on the product development side and was able to like see it and buy it and do all those things. So seeing the full, I guess, product come from like through fruition, seeing that made me say that I could do it for myself. So, well, I think I learned more in the, couple months that I was there to build a business than I probably would have in any.
Isn't that funny how we go to school for like 4 or 5 years and then it's like, oh, well, you get in it and you have to figure it out anyway.
Yeah.
Like, all the principles,
Yes.
though. And going, you wouldn't have had that opportunity. So
Absolutely.
I think that's really cool. Any of the celebrities you want to
Oh, yeah.
shout out? I mean,
So J-Lo was a brand, and then I worked on the Lauren Conrad brand. So,
I've heard of them.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
semi-big.
Yeah, it was really, really neat. Yeah, it was so cool. And having those opportunities, being in meetings with people like that and seeing how not only celebrities, like influential people can help your business. So connecting with people in the community, in the area, and things like that are things that can also build your business. And those are just small little nuggets of information that I was able to use in my own business. So it's really
cool.
neat. Yeah.
So when did you said you woke up and you're like, okay, Lord, you're calling me to open a shop.
Yeah.
From that day, how long did it take you to where you're opening the doors, you got a ribbon cutting, you got racks and...
So I want to say...
Because it's not like overnight.
No,
Yeah.
it's not. And it's so much work. I think people are really excited to always like start a business or do something you love, but taking it from the excitement and like the fun and I'm good at this to actually seeing a business, it's a lot of work. And I have a huge community around, like my family. I could not do it without my family, my husband's family. They've all been so supportive. And that, I want to say, to answer your question, the morning that I was modeling for a lot of different boutiques and different types of like wedding dress designers and gown designers, and I was seeing that I was selling their clothes. So I kind of woke up and I was like, I feel like I could sell my own clothes, and I could, instead of sending someone somewhere else, I had such a great platform through those things. So I modeled for brands like Altered State, who they now have like over 150 stores all over the world, and they're from Knoxville. And that's just kind of like how those things got started. Yeah. And then I was actually going to market to model for Sherry Hill and McDougal gowns. They're like prom dresses and things like that. And I went to the market for the first time and I was like, this is where you buy all the clothes. And this is how it happens. And this is how it works. And then I just felt like the wheels were turning. And then I turned 19 and my dad was like, I'll give you X amount of money. And I was able to pay him back within the first couple months. We opened in a tiny storefront. If you want to talk about humble beginnings, I wish I could pull up. We had a tiny little corner, one rack of clothes, and the tiniest store you could think of. We had maybe like 10 styles and started with nothing. We paid I want to say like a little bit of commission and just a couple $100s a month, and had a tiny little storefront.
Is that here in town?
It was actually in Jefferson City,
okay,
really close to Carson Newman College. We started there. Someone had just some faith in us and wanted to bring in some clothing to their already gift store. And it was a way that I could still go to college. I actually had the store while I moved to New York. So I was kind of juggling all of those things and trying to model and trying to have school and also, boyfriend / soon to be fiance, and then trying to figure out if I wanted to move to New York. So it was a lot
going on.
Yeah. But I think all of those things I love. I kind of thrive in the, not chaos, but I thrive in the excitement and the newness and being busy. So it just kind of propelled me into that. And then the store continued to grow. So we were like, oh, after 2 or 3 years, if this isn't working out, we're going to stop. And it continued and continued to grow. So then we moved into a little house, and that little house was tiny and adorable, and we were open like Wednesday to Saturday for just a couple hours, and then after that we moved into a big store in Morristown and then in Johnson City. So
that's cool. Do you still have a store in Morristown too?
We did forever, and then due to COVID, we actually were never online, so we never figured out. It took us a very long time to figure out how to streamline our products online, and then as soon as we got online, it just took off, and we didn't need this store in Morristown paying 2 rents, and no one was able to come in for probably 6 to 8 months. So it was honestly great transition time, and we were able to do that and get it online, and now we've just completely taken off. So we ship all over the world. Yeah,
that's cool. So talk about percentages of sales online versus storefront.
So our ladies love us in store. It's just so fun. I think the storefront will forever be what our bread and butter is. because online is so big. And I think we love to have those touch points of you coming in and feeling it, smelling it, touching the clothes, feeling, all those feelings that you get when you go into a store. And people just love that. We have people in the store that love them and love on them, and we can encourage them and give them a little bit of hope. And our motto is like, hope is always in style, and sometimes that's hard to feel on a website. That's when you can feel it in the store from our employees, and we have the best employees. I love our employees. They're awesome. Yeah.
So where did that emotion or that feeling of hope is always in style, where'd that come from?
I think just from my faith, having grown up, and there's a lot of things where people are, there's not a lot of hope in the world. I think there's a lot of sadness. I think that what I've also learned is you can have hope and joy alongside of some sad things. And I think being able to have a little retail therapy, a little hope, and a little something new, it can just brighten your day. And so that's what we try to do at Azlinn Hope.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So talk about, you sound like a hustler. Where did you usually catch that from the parents maybe, or you just are like, it's inbred in you, like you just have like that, I've got to go kill it.
Yes.
Tell me about your hustle.
My mom and dad both were very just like strong-willed and wanted to do better for themselves. And my dad was a graduate of University of Tennessee and just worked his way up in sales. And then my mom was a full-time mom and a full-time she worked in like home health care for a really long time. So just seeing the way that they did that, they never told us that whatever we wanted to do, we could do it. So like no dream was too big. Yeah. And I think that that's what inspired me to want to do more. And I felt like being blessed with the things that I did have with like my parents' support, it felt like I wasn't doing enough, not in the sense that they ever made me feel that way, but it was like, there's so many things that have opportunities and I have the access to them. I don't want to waste it, because life's really short. And I love waking up. I have that adrenaline rush, waking up in the morning and wanted to do something, bigger than myself, because I feel like we're called to do something more on this earth. We have just such a small time, and I think it's just really good to be able to get up and work hard. And my parents have always kind of instilled that in me. They're like, if you need this, we'll do it. If you want to do this, we'll do that. And I played like 4 sports growing up. So I played basketball and golf and volleyball and, did all the things. And I was always like, what else can I do?
Yeah.
So
that's inspiring.
I just love staying busy. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I like it when it's more like not chaotic, like you said, but there's a lot to do. I like checking off the list, getting stuff done. It's good. Yeah, for sure. Tell us about like the vision for the store long term. What are you thinking? Like, is Azlinn Hope going to be like a national brand?
So we've had roadblocks, aka COVID. So we really are excited to see things that are up and coming with new opportunities. We've had a lot of opportunities. We've actually had people reach out for like franchising and things like that, but for now we like keeping it in-house. So we're trying to figure out how to grow that. I think we already would have a couple of stores if it wouldn't have been for COVID. Sure. But I think just being smart with like time and money, and a lot of things sometimes it doesn't have to be something big all the time. It's just, being able to take those steps and strides as God gives them to you, I think is really smart, instead of always just pushing for something more. We've been blessed with a lot that we've had in the community, but I'm hoping we've been in business for 8 years, which is crazy to think, but that also calculates my age because I said I was 19 when I started. But yeah, we've really looked at the Knoxville area because being from Tennessee, we ship a lot to Knoxville. We ship a lot to Alabama, Florida, New York, a lot of places like that. So we're trying to figure out the market research and how we could look into those outlets. So
that's cool.
It's exciting.
Okay. Being a fashion novice, my wife is high fashion. She loves it, and she loves your store, by the way.
That's really sweet.
But I'm a fashion novice. So let's talk about like from start to finish, like where do you source stuff? And then like the whole process, just for me and our listeners to learn about it, because I'm like, how do you even go? Like you said, you went to market. And so you look at I'm assuming you look at certain trends and brands, and you're like, okay, this is something that feels like me.
Yes.
I want to represent this and have it in my store. But then from there, how do you get 100 of them?
Yeah, I know. It's a lot of work. So we really work on doing things like meeting the designers, seeing where they make their products, seeing how their products are made. And we make a lot of connections with designers. So they're building their brand, and we're actually, buying into their brand. So we really look at like, what are they doing? Do they have sustainability? Is their brand growing? Like, is that something that will also bring us brand awareness in our own community? So we try to bring the brands also that our buyers are looking for. So like our customers are looking looking for brands, and I want to bring them to them in this city. So we have brands from all over the world. I mean, literally Australia, Spain, all these different places. We bring in the clothes from all those places, and we're able to sell them in Johnson City, Tennessee.
That's pretty cool. Do you and Jared get to travel to go to those places to see?
We've traveled a couple of times. We've been to Las Vegas, New York, California. We go to Atlanta a lot because it's easy to drive, but to be able to see the products at market and touch and feel them, I think that's what we enjoy doing, is bringing in things that are high quality, and the price points are really, really good. So we're trying to bring something that's not already here. So we have that niche of like, this is something, we have tops in our store for $30, and then we have dresses for $300. So if you're going to an event and you need something nice, high quality, maybe a potential brand that you wanted to invest in for a while, you actually can come into our store and try it on.
That's cool.
So, just being able to see, I don't know, the start to finish, to truly answer your question, is, I think for us, we love to be able to touch and feel it and see it and make sure that it's something that is a good quality that you're going to be able to wear and invest in, because it represents our brand as well.
Yeah. And then how important is like the creation of it? I mean, like making sure it's done ethically. And,
Yes.
you're,
Yes, that is very important. I think what's really good is being able to go to market and meet the designers. You can see who's making it and what they're doing and where it's coming from. So I think sometimes people are either worried about the price or they're worried about the quality, and sometimes those things have to go hand in hand, and that's what we really work on, is quality and just making sure that it is good for our customers.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What's your favorite like genre? I mean, are you like
Yeah.
you love looking at dresses or jackets or
So our number
purses,
one
or
business,
what's your favorite thing? Because
yeah,
I
that's
mean,
a tough question.
because there's a lot of it out there.
That's true. I think we focus on dresses because they're easy to pop on and go. Jumpsuits are easy to pop on and go because you don't have to think about an outfit. You actually just put that one thing on and you can leave the house. But we try to focus on special occasion because that's kind of a market that's neglected a little bit. And then a little bit more of, like, we call it work to weekend. So you can wear it to work, you're going to want to invest in it. And then if you can wear it on the weekends, with a good pair of jeans. We sell a lot of mother denim, which is a great brand for us. And just things like that compare back to your favorite pair of denim. It's a good investment, and we like to focus on that. And I would say accessories are difficult because people are very particular about how things fit or how things feel and look. And so we've really focused on dresses, tops, and jeans and stuff like that.
Okay, because and then you start carrying shoes, and you've got to have like 50 different sizes. And
Yes.
that just adds up to storage, and that's more space and more revenue. And you got a lot of inventory costs. And so how have you, like, what are some surprises in the business? Like, you're like, oh, I didn't realize I'm going to have to be an inventory manager, like an accountant. And I mean, like, as an entrepreneur, that's what Carly and I do. We have to do it all, right?
Yep.
And so what were some of the surprises you found that you're like, oh, I don't like, I mean, for me, accounting, I hate it. Like, that we have got an accountant because I hate it. And Carly loves numbers. She does all that.
Yes.
And I'm like, baby, I'm glad you do that because I do not want to do it. And so what are things that you feel like you were surprised by, that you were like, I'm going to hire this out because I hate it?
Yes. So I would say I was not prepared for the amount of work that it is to just like keep the store clean. So that's something that, dust bunnies, fabrics, those bunnies are everywhere.
Yes. Oh.
Yes, it's all the time. So just something like that, like I still handpick the dust bunnies up myself. I think that's something that we don't overly broadcast on social media, but we do pick up the dust bunnies. We clean the
dust bunny free environment. Come on over.
Yes. We clean the floors. We Windex and clean everything. And just the other day, a window cleaner came by and he was like, hey, can I clean your windows? I was like, yes, that is the best news ever. Just stuff that can give us back time so I can grow the business.
Right.
And then accounting is, like you said, you can't get away from it. And I love numbers. I feel like our business grows each year. So we're just trying to figure out how to do that. And we really are looking to, grow with like some business mentors and things like that. That's just something that, being a 19-year-old starting a business, you don't know what you're looking into.
Right.
So
you're like, oh, this seems like I see people doing it. I can do it.
Yeah.
And you get into it and you're like, oh, it's a lot.
It's a lot. And growth is really hard. So you can do it within one store and be really good at it. And now we're kind of like a well-oiled machine. So now we're just trying to figure out how can we bring that to more people, because bringing hope and, like we said, a little retail therapy into different, lives and bring it to more people is our goal. So it's been,
Talk about online. You guys are online, it sounds like. You're selling lots of stuff.
Yeah, we sell a lot of online. We have a lot of online sales, but it is tough. The market, there's just you can buy anything. You can get something on Amazon tomorrow. So I think for us, we're really trying to focus on small business, and if that's something that you want to invest in, and that's something that you're looking for quality and not just being able to get it really quickly. I think too, like supporting something like that in a community does matter. And, those things can't stay in a downtown, or you can't have somewhere to go, or you can't say like, oh, let me take my friends in town. Let's go to that store that we love, or just somewhere like that in a city. You can't get that online. You can't just go online and you can buy, I'm going to buy a little black dress or a pink dress or something like that, and you want it quick. That's, that is great. We've all done it, right?
Sure.
But just knowing that like you can have that place, sometimes it is making that conscious effort to be like, hey, I'm going to support a small business, or I'm going to go get my coffee from a small business. There's just little things that you can do to give back to your community that I feel like is hoping and wanting to give something to you.
Yeah, it is. We try and shop local as much as we can.
Yeah.
But yes, we still have Amazon show up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we all have to. Yeah. We
like
all have to.
Treats or whatever. I mean, like, yeah, exactly. It's
Yep.
like it doesn't make sense to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yep.
So what do you see happening downtown that like is exciting to you?
I
'Cause
see
you're
a
down
lot.
here. You're kind of an anchor store here, so you're.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you
Thank
see
you.
happening?
I think we've seen a lot of growth in our little strip. We kind of call it right there, Tipton Street, Tipton Strip, right there where we're at. I feel like there's a lot of growth. I feel like if we could get a parking situation.
My friend and I, we were talking. We should build a parking garage.
I'll be an
and
investor.
We'd clean house. I mean, like it would be like ding 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 ding. We'd be just cleaning house.
Yes.
So we need to do it.
Yeah, I'm investing.
You're
Yeah.
in. Okay. Well,
I'm
we
in.
got two investors.
You
then.
tell me when and where, and I'll be there.
I mean, all right, let's
Yeah.
do it. I think it would be great.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking the city's working on it.
I think they are, and I think that it's just I want people to come and feel like they can come in downtown. So we actually. The city gave us a parking space where you can come in and do the 10-minute parking. It's not overly enforced for 10 minutes if you can't shop. You can shop in like 15.
Right, it's hard to buy a dress in 10 minutes.
Yes, so we'll give you more time. They said they can't tell. No, I'm just kidding. But they gave us that, and then we have the parking in front of the store, and so you can easily get downtown. There's also we do the buy online, pick up in store, and so you can just drop it in your car, which we've done. That has picked up like crazy. So
That's
is a really easy way. Be like, oh, I saw that on Azlinn. You can call us and order it, and things like that. So we can drop it in your car. So you especially if you have your kids or your dogs or something like that, you can just swing by.
Finding a space downtown, and then you're like, I got to do my dogs and kids. So just swing by.
Yeah.
You'll walk out, hand it to them, and they're good to go.
Yeah, and it's
Drive-through retail.
Yeah, it is. It's so good.
I love
I'm gonna
it.
steal that. But yeah, we've loved it, and I think another thing that I didn't expect from downtown is Amy Lynn from WJHL. She has Daytime Tri-Cities. She came in. She loves Azlinn Hope. She loves the store, and she's like, Azlinn, come do a segment on WJHL with us and have a downtown store represented in our downtown, on the show. So I come in, I dress her every week. And then I get to go on once a month. So we're actually on this Thursday. So,
Nice.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Talk about the trends and all the things.
Yeah.
You should. Yeah.
That'd be good. Tell us about the downside of retail, right? I mean, I hear like Christmas is like the worst, like it's the best time of the year. However, it's not the best time of the year sometimes for retail. So what's some of the downsides of a retail shop?
So
besides picking up dust bunnies?
Yeah. I mean, those I'll just take them every day. I'm going to say Christmas is tough. So what I love is Christmas is financially exciting. It's a great time for retail in the sense of you're going to make, a lot of sales. People are looking for that. We get to help a lot of customers, a lot of men that come in, and they're like, help me. My wife shops here. What do I need?
Right.
But I think
do you have like customer profiles that they can help? Like,
Oh.
Yeah, you're doing deep dives on people.
Oh,
Okay.
Christmas Eve, I'm like racking and stacking them. I'm like, all right, y'all, get in a single file line. This is what she wants, like.
Actually, I've already got it wrapped up for you.
Yes, yeah, she's already here. She's
Credit
ready
card,
to go.
please.
Yes,
You're good.
But I think that's what is so cool about Azlinn Hope. We were talking about earlier is I feel like I know all the customers. I feel like I'm invested in their what they're doing, where they're going. I know who's going on vacation when, like I get those calls and they're like, hey, we're going to Africa. Hey, we're going to the beach. Hey, we're going to do this. I'm like, can you get all these things together? And so as a business owner, I've developed, my professional styling career as well. And so that's another avenue that we've been looking into more and more, and that more people reach out and I'm able to personally style them. And that's been a really cool extra, kind of side hustle within the business that go hand in hand. And then being able to go on somewhere like WHL and talk about trends and things like that can bring what we're already bringing to the downtown. That just makes it easier and more accessible for people to see it and for me to be able to give them those styling tips, because people are really good at what they do in their professions. And so this is just an easy way for me to be like, oh, I do have to think about an outfit. How about I just go to Azlinn, or how about I see what she said the other day and I can put, a monochromatic outfit on and run out the door and I can look chic without having to think about it, So just stuff like that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like there's a downside to retail then.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Did I answer your question?
You
the
did.
downside to retail is working too much at Christmas time.
There you go. Right. There's the one. That's
yeah.
it. And
the
then,
hours are tough.
the hours I was going to say.
I think that's the number
one.
one.
Tell listeners the store hours for you.
The store hours are Monday through Friday, 10 to 6, and then Saturday, 10 to 4. So I would say retail is a lot of work on your feet too. So I don't sit down probably more than an hour a day. And that way we're able to like just get stuff done and things like that, physically on your feet, because it's a lot of heavy boxes and, hanging, steaming, pricing the clothes. The clothes don't just magically
They don't
appear.
just come out of the box just beautiful and
I
tagged
wish.
and all that stuff. That'd be nice.
That would be a dream of
There's
mine.
another business. Like you could just figure out how to do it.
Just snap
Send
your
all the,
fingers.
yeah. Like they just show up.
Yeah.
And they're done.
But I think that because I love it so much, it doesn't feel too much like work. And I think that's the goal of everyone is, one day to be able to do something that you just absolutely love and not feel like it's work. But I would say to truly answer your question, it's just the amount of hours that, because if we're really there until 6, I'm there until 7, or if I'm coming to do different things in the mornings and things like that, it's a lot of time. It's a lot of 12 o'clock at night sitting in my bed and somebody's like, should I get a small on this or a medium? And then I'm like, if I don't respond, you miss a sale. And also like, I don't want them to feel like they can't have access to those questions.
Oh, I know. And you have to have a life. And so it's balancing and figuring it out. And, we're at Keller Williams, we call it counterbalancing, because you're never in balance, right? You're either working or you're at home. And so how do you get those lines closer together? So you're somewhat in balance, but kind of just out of balance less, I guess would be.
Yes.
Let's say somebody else is listening on the podcast and they're like, I'd love to start a designer store. How do I do that? What would be some good advice like that you've learned over the years? You're like, oh, okay, I wish I'd done it. Or I wish I'd done this.
It's a great
some
question.
of it you just learn on your own. But is there anything you're like, oh, this would be good?
Yeah. I would say to have a huge support group. So I think that what is really hard is doing things that you think I can do by yourself. You really just can't. You have to lean on people. And I feel like I've had such a strong family, the way that they've helped me, the way that they, I'll call my husband, I'll be like, hey, can you hang this chandelier? He's like, what?
I'm an engineer. I can do that.
He's like, yeah, I'll figure it out. And then I work with my mom and my sister. My dad if I've ever called him, he would drop anything to come and drive and, grab. If I'm like, hey, Dad, this, 100-pound desk, I can't move by myself. Can you grab it and bring it over? And he's like, oh, sure, I'm already on my way, So it's just been, I think my family support, even my husband's family, like his mom, my mother-in-law, she'll come in and she'll put stickers on bags for us for hours, just
cool.
help me pick up the dust bunnies. Do things that have really truthfully helped us in just small ways
and
that
just loving you well, supporting you and loving you. So a support group is. I
think that's the number one thing for a business, to even just to get started. If you are doing something that you can do on your own, I think, really bouncing off ideas, having somebody to bounce questions off of, seeking someone who can be a mentor, and I'd mentioned before, like look at other businesses that you admire, look at the people who own it, and then maybe, ask them to coffee, ask them to dinner, ask them how you can learn from them. Cause I've done that with a couple of different people. It's just being able to learn,
And they want to help.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are like, oh, well, she's got her own business and she doesn't want to help me, because I'm kind of sort of competition. But that's not how we look at it. If you have an abundance mentality, like there's tons of business out there.
Yeah.
I would love to help you because I get joy from helping you.
Absolutely. And if we don't have something, I want to send you somewhere where you can get it, because I think what people don't understand is like life is so short. And you can go, if you need something, I want you to get it. If you can go to another store and you can find that, like
Right.
there is so much money out there to be spent, and there is so many things to be able to, see and try on and have. And I think that if you need something and you can't get it from me, like I want to send you somewhere where you can,
Yeah.
it's all about helping other people in the community. And like at the end of the day, we're just trying to give somebody a little bit of hope or a little bit of, happiness in their retail therapy or something that they can look forward to.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. What's something that you've listened to or read recently that inspired you, or where are you looking, like, what do you look at to say, okay, this is something I'm going to use to grow my business?
That's a great question. I think that I know we're on a podcast, but I've started listening to podcasts.
Hey,
I
that's
know.
good.
It's awesome. And the things that you've even taught me with the ones that you've had people on, like I was listening to the one who the young girl had a vintage store
Yeah.
business.
Yeah, so sweet. Oh my gosh.
She was precious, and I had no idea what that was. And her listening to like how she was talking about, fast fashion is something that we're not truly in fast fashion. I think places like H&M, Zara, places like that is true fast fashion. But you're talking about like what she is doing and being able to recycle, which is literally what my husband's doing at his plant. There's things that we can do to, be able to reuse and things like that like my business doesn't do, but that hers can. And like things like that, partnering with someone like that, being inspired by knowing that she's doing something that I can't do. And like,
Yeah.
hopefully I could help her.
Yeah.
Just looking into avenues that I didn't even know existed because of what you're doing on a podcast, and listening to a lot of business podcasts. So like if I'm on a walk or a run, or if I have time when you're driving, instead of mindlessly listening to music,
Amen.
Sometimes it's really good. You can learn something.
Oh my gosh.
The little nuggets of information that you can take into your entire life that you don't even know that you could get on something like a podcast. So that's something that I never did and I'm doing now. So.
Yeah, we're in a world of information now that is so amazing. I mean, you can learn from the top people in the field because they want to share and give out. So they'll do a podcast and you'll talk to, the designers at Nike and, whatever, Louis Vuitton, or you can find anybody. I mean, they just want to share. And so you're learning from the tip top. It's the best. Whereas it used to be, you'd never even interact with those people, or even have a clue.
Yeah.
And
like
so,
I've been doing like Wall Street Journal. They have Vogue Business. Like there are a lot of things out there that you can have access to, like you said, so easy now. I think that's a really good way to get information.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. I'm always trying to same. Instead of mindless music, I'm either on WCQR or usually on a podcast.
Yep,
Because my
same.
buddy, anyway, I need to get him on here. Excuse me. Okay, so we can come to the store and see you and meet you. How else can listeners connect with you?
I have Instagram personally with my styling platform, and I also have the shop page. So we have a social media manager that can answer any questions that you need. You can email us at azlinnhope@gmail.com. We have, trying to think of another way. Come in the store. We love the store.
Yeah,
Call
just
me.
come in the store and buy something. That's the
just
best
really-
way to connect with you.
It's just really fun.
Yeah.
Because I probably have 100 unread text messages from people needing to know things, and it's just I want to get back to every single person.
Right.
But sometimes if I go home, I truly try to disconnect just in a little bit, so
For sure.
me and my husband can have time together and keeping that space for us. But I want, if there's a time that you need something, just call the shop and, set up a time. I do styling. You can schedule me for like 30 minutes or an hour if you need me to come into your house, or if you need me to come in and help you, and we can just talk and hang out and, drink coffee and shop, whatever you need. We have all the things. But I think the easiest way to get in touch with us is coming into the store or calling the store. And then, like I said, if you need something, like we want to be those people that can help you, not only just with what exactly you need in the shop, but like if you need a little hope or a little retail therapy, we got that too.
Yeah, I think it's really cool that you want to get in relationship with people and give them hope, and it's not just a transaction.
I think that's what is different about our business. I think people would be like, oh, how do you sell this? Or how do you do that? It's not really that. It's the true meaning behind what you're doing, and you're trying to make somebody feel good. And, I'm not perfect. I'm sure that we've, had times where we're like, oh, we didn't get right back to that person. We haven't done that. Like we strive really hard to do 100%, but we're still human,
For sure.
But I think what's been so good is we've been able to grow the team. So I'm not just one person doing that. And I think that that's been such a breath of fresh air for me, because I think I'm, that people pleaser mentality of a small business owner.
Yeah.
I want to do everything for everybody.
I'm
But
the
I
same
think,
way, yeah.
but I think hopefully, there's a little bit of grace that's given, and, continuing to grow is like, you can't do everything perfect, but you can definitely give grace, you can receive it, and hopefully be able to continue to grow.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to share with us that I didn't ask you?
I don't know. I feel like I feel like I learned more about myself in this, time than I thought I would too. But I think it's really neat to see if anyone who's starting a business or if you're doing anything in life, seeing where you can coming from one rack of clothes of having, 5 to 10 styles, I think, and then growing into this huge business that's grown in downtown Johnson City on top of having like the warehouse and the sales of online and stuff like that. It's like you can do it and have it. It doesn't have to be all over the world or, have a million stores to be what you want success to be, like you can have that and have your family around you, your friends, the support system of a community, and be able to do it in a town like Johnson City.
Yeah, it is. It's a special place. And
Yeah.
We're better to have you here
Oh,
selling
thank
clothes.
you.
So thank you so much.
Yeah.
Last question. What gets you fired up, like, besides UT football?
Oh, I really don't want to say this, but it's just coffee. I love coffee.
I love coffee. I love it.
I love coffee. And you texted me this morning and sending me this. I'm not addicted, but I love it.
I love it too. I love a vanilla latte. It's my favorite, and Dos Gatos and
Yep.
Open Doors are our two favorite spots.
I love it. And I love a caramel oat milk latte. And I just think like getting up in the morning and looking forward to like sitting down and drinking a cup of coffee, reading my Bible, or checking what's going on. It's like I truly love a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
I even drink it decaf. I love it so much. I'm like, oh, dessert? Okay, let's do a coffee.
Yeah, Carly loves decaf. That's all she drinks. So, well, thank you so much for
Yeah.
coming on the podcast. It was a pleasure getting to talk to you. I'm sure our listeners learned a lot. And I'm sure they're going to come buy some clothes from you, hopefully, is the goal. So until next time, my name is Colin Johnson with the Colin and Carly Group and Keller Williams Realty. If you want to move to Johnson City and meet Azlinn, come on. I'd love to help you do that. If you want to invest in real estate, we love to help people build wealth there as well. So just reach out, and I hope you have a great February. Thanks. And have a